us now is the Interim Executive Director of SOAR, Wendy Bice. SOAR stands for the Society of Active Retirees. Wendy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate having you on. So first off, can you tell us about the Society of Active Retirees? What does your organization do? Who does it serve in our communities?
SOAR is recently went through a name change. We are now called SOAR Lifelong Learning. We are a institute for older adults of any age, 50 and better, we say, who want to continue to explore and discover and keep their minds active. So we offer 3 semesters a year of classes. In total, we offer somewhere around 125 classes a year. Each class is a one-off, so it's an hour to an hour and a half. It's a lecture-style class, and about half of our classes are on Zoom right now, and half are in person in Farmington Hills at the Hawk Community Center.
And so, Wendy, can you talk about the importance of maintaining activity, particularly mental activity and social activity for retirees who are often seniors, who are later on in their life, and so the aging process has taken a toll on their brains, on their memories, and when they're not necessarily activated on a daily basis or so consistently with work or with other necessary activities that are more of a practice in your working career life, that can take a toll. So talk about the importance of maintaining that activity and how your organization helps these retirees maintain their mental and physiological health through that activity.
So when SOAR was founded, actually it dates to the 1990s, older adults were retiring and looking for activity. And SOAR was founded on the principle that just because you're retired, you're not, you're no longer, you're still viable. You still have a chance to grow and learn and discover. But now people are not retiring at 65 necessarily. And even when they're retired, they're not, you're not sitting in a chair immobile. You're still viable, we hope, mentally and maybe physically, maybe not moving as fast, maybe your days are shorter, but you're still a person who has a lot to offer and can still take that time to grow and to learn and to discover and to meet new people. As empty nesters, our kids probably some are local, some are moved away. Some of us don't have grandkids yet. We're looking for social connections. So not only do these classes help stimulate thought and encourage discussion, but they're also really important for social connections, even over Zoom. We always have a question and answer period. We are back to a modified in-person schedule. We have small group activities. We'll start again up with field trips soon. But I think, as a person who is over age 60, or we say 55 or better, there's no way I'm done. I'm learning, I'm growing, and as are my friends and family members. So just because you hit a certain age doesn't mean you are no longer viable and no longer have a lot to contribute.
Has the COVID-19 pandemic played a factor in pushing that message and pushing that goal of your organization to maintain that activity for these seniors? Because I would imagine it even has a greater impact on those that are retired and maybe aren't working during the week or are consistently socializing during the week in person because they have to be in their homes to protect themselves from this virus over that 2-year period. How did the COVID-19 pandemic play into your organization's work to support these seniors, not only in their social life and keeping them active, but to maintain that goal of providing these activities and providing these outlets, albeit in a safe environment given the circumstances of the world?
I think COVID-19 shocked all of us into realizing how devastating isolation can be. and especially for older adults. So in our case, we were able to transition rather quickly. We did miss one of our semesters, but we transitioned quickly to Zoom, and we were able to get all of our members who wished back online and engaging with us through Zoom. So perhaps it was a husband and wife or two roommates who were isolated at home. Now they had kind of another outlet to feel a little bit more connected to the community. And so in SOAR's case, it really accelerated one of our goals, which was to use technology to reach older adults who are not necessarily physically or geographically able to attend our classes in person. So now with this modified model we have of half of our classes on Zoom and the other half in person, and we're trying to record most of our classes and bring those to our members through YouTube, we really can offer anybody anywhere access to our content and our programs.
So as you mentioned, we're joined by Wendy Bice, the Interim Executive Director of the Society of Active Retirees Lifelong Learning Institute, joining us on the MegaCast. More information can be found on their website, which is soarexplore.com. That is soarexplore.com for more information.
SOAR.
Yes, SOAR explore.com for more information and to get in contact with the organization. And so you mentioned the classes. You have a variety of different classes for people of all different interest levels or just for some continued development of life skills in retirement. Can you talk to us a little bit about what those classes are, and then go through the process of determining what those classes are going to be and how your organization develops them?
We have classes, we offer 3 semesters a year. Right now we are in the middle of our spring semester, and plans are, we almost have our fall semester set. So we would have classes ranging from art and culture, what is glass blowing, who's doing interesting work in glass or sculpture, to understanding the music of the 1950s, for example, all the way to history, to government, to current events. History is a big subject. We always have pretty good depth of options for those who love history, as well as a lot of local content. Our speakers are either active or retired professors from area universities, or active or retired professionals in their fields, or significant contributors to a certain genre. So for example, some local historians who weren't historians in business, but have become so after their retirement, are often some of our best speakers. I can't remember the rest of your question. Do you want to know how someone can register?
Yeah, sure. Tell us how someone can register. Yeah.
So our website has a registration portal. We open registration usually leading into a new semester, and someone would register for a semester, and that person then becomes a member, we call them. We don't call our members students. And we are rolling out this fall a whole new registration model, so someone can become a member of SOAR and participate in some of our special events and our shared interest groups, which are very, very popular. And then they can also register for classes. So in the fall, we'll have a whole new kind of approach toward engaging with our members.
Are there any costs associated with taking these classes?
Yes, a semester is $100, and that entitles an individual to as many classes as they want. We average about 50 classes a semester. Our winter program, we call it, is actually a condensed model where we focus on one theme. So this past winter, we did 6 weeks just on the Industrial Revolution, but our spring and fall are more diverse with a whole variety of classes, and we average about 50 classes a term. We do have occasional special events through the year, and we have one coming up next week on May 6th, which is the SOAR mock trial. And that event is free and open to the public. We also have another event coming up with Jocelyn Benson that is free and open to the public as well.
We're joined by Wendy Bice, the Interim Executive Director of SOAR, joining us on the Oakland County MegaCast. SOAR can be found at SOAR.explore.com. That's SOAR.explore.com for more information. They are the Society of Active Retirees Lifelong Learning Institute, joining us on the MegaCast today. So you mentioned earlier, among some of the classes are music of the 1950s, maybe one of them. You also have a book club and a film club as well. Can you tell us about those and how people can participate in those clubs?
Yeah, those are two of our shared interest groups. Shared interest groups are small group gatherings, currently all on Zoom, where the group members would read a book or watch a film or have a topic of discussion. And then they meet, the groups are usually between 15 and 20 people, and they meet with a moderator and discuss the book or the film or the topic of discussion. We have a women's issues group. We have a new group that's launching this summer called the Detective Novel. And obviously that will be all about detective novels. We have a new group that launched earlier this year called Great Decisions, where the group takes a look at some monumental decision and how it impacted our life. And they're getting ready for their second meeting this June.
We're joined by Wendy Bice, the Interim Executive Director of the Society of Active Retirees Lifelong Learning Institute, joining us on the MegaCast. You mentioned also you have a mock trial coming up. That's going to be happening on Friday, May 6th at 1 p.m. It'll happen at the Hawk Community Center Auditorium located on 12 Mile Road in Farmington Hills. And it is a free event. Can you tell us about the mock trial and what people may be expecting when they see this free event on Friday, May 6th?
This is a semi-annual event. Obviously, we took a couple of years off, and we host, it's on a stage with a cast. The cast are all attorneys or judges. This year, we're exploring the question of, was Gerald Ford justified in pardoning Richard Nixon? We will have attorneys for the defense and a prosecuting attorney arguing whether Gerald Ford did the right thing in the name of peace and civility moving on, or should he have prosecuted Richard Nixon? The audience is the jury. And so after the case is presented, the audience will have a paper ballot and no chips, no electronic mishaps, but you'll fill out your paper ballot, vote guilty or not, and we will have a verdict at the end of the hour-and-a-half program. It's very popular. We have a very esteemed group of attorneys who are playing the parts. Jack Lessenberry is going to be Gerald Ford. So we're very excited. We think it is a good way to bring new friends into SOAR to participate again in a really interactive, social, but academic, thought-provoking event. And it's free.
Again, that free event, Friday, May 6th, 2022 at 1 p.m. That'll be at the Hawk Community Center Auditorium. That is located on 12 Mile Road in Farmington Hills. More information on SOARexplore.com, SOAR explore.com. We're joined by Wendy Bice, the Interim Executive Director of the Society of Active Retirees Lifelong Learning Institute, with us on the MegaCast. Wendy, before we let you go, any other SOAR events coming up, or where can people get more information or even sign up if they'd like to become a member for a semester or multiple semesters?
So as you've been graciously saying, SOARexplore.com. Our phone number is 248-626-0296. We're on Facebook and we're on LinkedIn. So join us, learn, grow, meet new people, and don't be afraid to raise your hand and ask a question. That's what we're all about.
Wendy, thank you very much for joining us.
Tyler, thank you.